I fear poverty. I don't want it near me. So
nobody, I can bet my chest, nobody knows or has it all figured out.
Money is not the biggest measure of wealth. It's actually health, I
have failed literally so many times and I'm still here.
I'm working towards a better life tomorrow while living a great life today.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So Chi, how are you?
I feel amazing. Like I'm having a great weekend. Okay. Yesterday, I and Dima and two other of our friends went to play tennis, indoor tennis, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yes, it was great. It was great. I won't even lie. This week was a bit weird for me. Yeah. Up until yesterday,
we forgot about every other thing.
For me, it was very healing because I was very anxious within the week. Yeah. So when we got there, I was just in the moment. We had like matching sets. We had like matching set. It was so interesting.
It was so gorgeous.
And then we filmed a lot. Choma came, we had tripod. I came with my tripod. I didn't care. Guys, people were looking at us, but we didn't send them.
So after we went to the changing room to change, like as we were coming downstairs, because nobody else were looking like us. You know? Just imagine these 4 black girls in these very cute outfits coming downstairs. Should I change that? And everybody was staring, The look was like people wondering like whether we were here for a tournament or...
It was my first time. I didn't have any experience. But
I remember some people that were just done playing and I saw the curiosity to just stay back and watch what these girls are about to do. I think we disappointed them because
really disappointed
we thinking that we are experts. By the time we played the first one, it was like, okay, they are amateurs, let's go.
Guys, it was really good. And the place I also like the place is very fine. It wasn't also expensive. We think we paid like around 70 euros each person.
So it's like 44 euros per hour. So depending on if you guys are like 6, for example, it gets even cheaper.
Yeah. And the thing was that they gave us additional 30 minutes because we came earlier. Yeah. So we stayed for like 1 hour 30 minutes. And we shot lots of beautiful content. It was my first time because she plays badminton. Yeah. So it was my first time.
I think the experience of badminton helped me in playing.
She was really good. Me, I was playing rubbish.
But we were having a lot of fun. We had massive fun.
Yeah. And then
after that,
it
didn't end there. Oh my God.
Our friend now hosted us.
Yeah,
she hosted us to her place. And before
it was a random conversation. We were not planning it. So like the conversation just came up.
And we had finished. We were actually on our way home. I can't remember what we were talking about. Next thing, I can't remember who asked us,
unless you want to host us. I was like, okay.
And then as we went, she now asked us, okay, what we wanted to eat.
I wanted ice cream.
Me, I wanted pasta.
Yeah, and then Ami wanted chicken.
And I think another thing was that we wanted to go back and look at the pictures and videos we captured. So she made this really lovely pasta with coleslaw and then the chicken as well. And then we also had ice cream.
We were watching the Billionaire
Bunker. Very interesting. If you want to see it, it's a limited series, like 8 episodes on Netflix. It's actually very intriguing. And then I think before that, we also watched Ruth and Boaz, which was also a very heartfelt and warming movie. Yeah. So if you're looking for something...
It was actually based on the story of Ruth and Boaz in the Bible.
But like a refined version of 2025. So if you're looking for something not too serious, something very heartfelt, you can watch it. They are all on Netflix. We had a really, really good time.
It was a great weekend.
Yeah, it was.
We plan to play more.
Yeah.
Because we have this thing, like we are 4 friends, and we have this thing of like wanting to like just have fun together. So every time, I won't say every month per se,
but like we share it, we rotate it.
Everybody take a turn to figure out something that we could do together. I had hosted the girls for a pajamas party / gisting and all of that.
And then we also did road trip. Yeah, we went to Brandenburg and then this tennis.
So we rented a car for the entire day and just like
drove.
It
was so much fun. The next one that is coming, I'm supposed to be the one to host. I haven't completely figured out what we're going to do.
So if you have an idea, please tell us
in the comments. I haven't figured out exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to do something. So anyways, she brought me here and we have some questions that we're going to be answering. And let's get started.
So today we are going to be answering 10 burning questions about life, about living in Germany, about, just generally like living in a different country other than yours. So let's have fun.
Okay, guys. If we lost everything, what part of my life? I think one thing I realized is that I'm not very attached to material things like resources. Like I always feel that things come and they go, right? So I think I'll still hold on to the memories of my friends and family. Like that part of my life is something that is very, very precious to me. So I think that's what I'll really hold on to.
Once I have health, if I'm losing all my resources, but I still have my health, I still have my brain, that's all I need.
Exactly.
Like that's all I need to start afresh. And then I have my family and my friends who would probably like hold me up at the time that I'm down, you know. So if I can find those friends that could hold me up, and I would always be able to like bounce back.
Exactly. Because I feel like if everything was taken away, I can, with what I know,
you can, because you have the knowledge already, and that is wealth as well. So and once you're healthy, you can always bounce back. And you also know that like when you've gone through your worst experience and you're coming back to life, you're coming back better.
A better person.
So if I lost everything, I'll come back better even.
Yeah, because I feel like I've experienced something like that, and I think it was mostly God, my family, and my friends were the people that helped me back up. So if I have my friends, my family, my relationship with God, and like she said, health.
Yeah,
I'm good, babes.
Because family and friends are the ones that will help you keep your sanity.
Exactly.
For you to be able to even maintain your health. And once you have that, you're good to go.
Yeah. Okay, this one is a bit tricky, right? Because from my own perspective, right? I think number one thing is that I had to define what success meant to me. Because if you keep looking around, you would never be satisfied.
May I ask, like, what does success mean to you?
So for me, I think to some extent, like when, let's say, for example, in a year, I can say, okay, I want to get this and this and that, things that are within my control. If I'm able to work towards those things and say, okay, for this particular year, these are the things that I want to achieve. And once I feel like I'm working towards those goals and towards the direction, I'm very okay.
I'm making progress.
I'm making progress, right? But like, if I don't define those things, like maybe, for example, having my family and friends, because my goals are not just monetary goals, right? Like I have like my goals, maintain relationship with friends, help out family or whatever. So if I'm working towards those goals that I have set for myself, I'm very okay. So even if someone around me is like, oh, I just bought 10 properties, I bought 50, and my own is save 10,000 towards property. Once I'm working towards that saving of 10,000, I'm actually very content. I had to learn the hard way, because I think there was this time around where like most of the times I found myself comparing, and it was really making me sad. And this morning I'm
like, feel like some people are ahead already.
I feel like this was even what happened before I think that was after we graduated from university. Raji and Amaka, they had already moved to Lagos to work as software engineers, and my business was already failing. So in my head, they were like succeeding way more ahead of me, but I didn't understand that I also had like a different path. My journey was different from them. I was still really young.
And those were also lessons that we are going to eventually form.
Exactly. I was like 2021 then, so I hadn't really understood much about life. So it was when I was going through that I was always going to church and all. That was when I heard like, be content.
Yeah.
Do you get? Define what it is. Because back then, so I didn't even want to be a software engineer. So why was it disturbing me that they were already moving ahead? Do you get? So I had to learn it the hard way to define each time what success means to me. And sometimes as a human being, it kind of creeps in when you watch a lot of things online and see maybe your mates or even younger people achieving a lot of success. And then when you look around, you're like, oh, but I haven't hit this or hit that. But when I had to like form the core of who I am, what I want to be, and I see that I'm making progress each day, working towards that, it really, really healed a lot for me. So that's how I stay grounded, making sure that whatever it is, when I start feeling inadequate or when I start feeling like I'm not achieving more, immediately I remind myself, what is it that you're working towards? Are you in alignment with what you're working towards? If the answer is yes, then this is none of your business.
For me, I'm chasing more. Like, I think it's also okay to chase more.
Yeah, it's very okay.
You know, but for me, in chasing more, I want to be content. Like, I'm not like depending my happiness on the things that I'm chasing. I'm chasing these things to live a better life. You know, and when I chase it and it doesn't work out, okay, you lost today and then you move forward and you start chasing the next thing, you know. And I think I'm still at the age of chasing. This is just for me, you know. I feel like I'm still young and I still have a lot of energy to, like, now is when I have the time to do the extra. So I'm okay with doing that extra, but in doing the extra, I'm working towards a better life tomorrow while living a great life today. That is it for me. I spend today, I spend tomorrow. So I'm not like trying to like make only plans for the future. I'm living my best life today and still planning to live a better life even like tomorrow. I'm chasing as much as I can chase, but not in a way that it deprives me of living, exactly, of my happiness and peace of mind. That's absolutely it.
Yeah, so what really helps me stay grounded is just remind me of who I am.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, who are you, Chidima? So try not to be like other people. Try not to
focus on your own journey, like, and not be minding what other people are all about.
Yeah. Next question.
Do you think the life you're building reflects your actual values or just your fears?
You know that this question can be a bit dicey because sometimes we actually chase things out of fear without knowing. So I think I can intertwine there because, like, growing up, I had to learn to manage a lot, and that also put in fear in me of you should work so that you can never lack.
Yeah.
So sometimes I notice that I work out of fear of not having enough, fear of going back to square one. So it's kind of like work in progress for me. I notice sometimes that I used to have this scarcity mindset, in the sense that I'm trying to like work to be able to get more, because I'm scared that if I don't work, I would not have enough money. But that is a scarcity mindset. But if you have an abundance mindset, you just know that there would always be more for you. So it's something that I have been learning, and I think I'm getting very, very good at it. So scarcity mindset comes from fear of something that you've probably experienced. And because growing up in Nigeria, we had to manage a lot. We are coming from like the survival mode and all of those things. So the answer is intertwined. So I know that as I'm growing and I'm learning, I'm working towards my core values, towards the things that I believe in, and slowly unlearning the scarcity mindset that I had built up as a child growing up because of the circumstances around me. So that's how it is for me.
I think I'm doing what I love to do. Let me say what I like to do, because if my father was a billionaire, I probably would be doing something that I'm way more passionate about, So like you said already, there's an element of fear in it, but I think for me, it's just trying to find a way to enjoy what I'm doing now. And if I have a choice today not to work, honestly, I won't work, So, but it's fear, but it's kind of a positive kind of fear. Because wisdom also has an element of fear. For you to be wise, you have to know what to fear. I fear poverty. I don't want it near me. So that's why I'm working hard. It's not because I really want to. It's just because I have to. So yeah, I'm scared of being poor. And that's why I keep grinding, because I want my future self to be proud of me. I don't want to lose all the opportunities that I have today just because I didn't like grab them. I want to grab as many opportunities as I can, so that I can afford to rest tomorrow when I might not be as energetic as I am right now. So maybe it's fear of poverty, mainly
fear of lack,
and the desire for stability and the desire for good things. So both of them mixed. Honestly, I still feel guilty over resting sometimes. I have to be honest. There are some times I'm like just enjoying my weekend. I've just enjoyed too much, or maybe like I take a leave and I'm not able to like account for what I did with the time. Sometimes I feel guilty, like, am I wasting my time? And I think it's kind of bad. Sometimes it's okay to just like waste your time and not be accountable for it. But sometimes I feel like I can get too time conscious, like, okay, what have I been able to achieve today? What is the next thing and all of that?
I think this is traumatic in a way, because where we're coming from, rest was never a thing. Even at home, when your parents see you idle, they try to find something to give you. So imagine having to grow up with that mentality. So I'm trying to find a balance. Sometimes when I rest too much, I'm like, this is not rest, actually, I'm procrastinating. Do you get?
Yeah.
So I'm learning slowly. This thing where like you want to rest, you're seeing it like a reward. No. Yeah. Rest is actually part of the journey so that you can heal your body as a person. So I am slowly learning it. But though sometimes too, like when there's a time as a person that you over rest, Like let's say,
I
for
was
example,
going to say that. Maybe like when you go on a holiday and you start having holiday blues. Like that
exactly. When you come, exactly.
Because now your brain switches to that
holiday relaxation, chill mode. So there has to be a thin line, because there's also a way you would rest. It becomes a habit that you're no longer going out to be as productive as you wish or want to be. Now, rest is not a bad thing. But like when you now too much of it, like exactly. So like how every other thing is, too much of everything is bad. So like when you, let's say for example, the whole of 6 months you're not doing anything, 1 year, 3 years, you're not doing
for 1 month, like
do you get? So like 1 month you can say maybe like you worked for 11 months the whole
and
year.
You're not doing anything.
Yes, I think it's very like you worked 11 months out of
I
the
feel like my
months.
brain is going to switch. Like I think I would really struggle to come back to work if I go away.
So like rest is not a bad thing, but like just like every other thing, if you do it too much, it becomes a habit. You're now entering that zone of very, very, very comfortable that you don't want. Even the tiniest of discomfort becomes a problem for you. So.
But I need more time to rest.
23. At 23, it was just at the beginning of my career, really. At that point, I was still very scared. I didn't know so much as a software engineer. So I was really scared that I didn't know if I was going to make it in the industry, in the tech industry. So to my 23-year-old self, I would tell her, it's okay. Like all those sleepless nights, having 4 jobs, 3 jobs to make ends meet, things do get better. Things get better. All those grind, they came out to be something more useful. Look at the life you're living now. So yes, just take your time, because I held myself so high. Like looking back now, I feel so bad for my younger self, because I really put pressure on that girl. Like I really held her to a very, very, very high esteem. Like I think at some point she developed anxiety because the pressure I put on her was too much. So like if I'm to give my 23-year-old advice, I want to apologize to her. And then I want to apologize to her for all the pressure, and then tell her that things eventually will get better. And it's not like everything is smooth and sweet sailing.
But just embrace the journey.
Just embrace, like the journey is the whole point. Like there is really no destination, honestly. It's just the journey, so enjoy it.
I think it's the same advice actually. I was 7 when I was 23, and I remember like writing something in my diary. I started keeping diaries like from then, and I even used to write more. Then I remember like being a bit confused about like what is the next step, like where am I headed from here? You know, when I was 7, there was no lights, like there was no clear light on exactly where I was the path exactly. So I was applying for scholarships for masters. I was like contemplating either going to do masters or going into tech, you know. And then even in the tech, okay, what do you like? How are you even sure that this is going to work? There was a lot of confusion. So, but I remember writing things in my diary, things that are not so nice, like really like asking God for a clear path and direction and all of that. So my current self, we tell her that it gets better. You have it all figured out, you know. Those fears that we're having is part of the journey, is what forms like your sense of direction. Because if you don't feel scared at that stage, how would you even know that what you now know is clear? Like when you receive the vision, how would you realize that this is a vision? You know, if you've not been through all those whatever, when the actual vision comes, will you be able to recognize it? So I think I'll tell my 23-year-old that you are such a great girl. Like you are so hardworking and so positive and very smart as well. Yeah, so I'll just tell you that it gets better, you know. And me now looking at the journey, I couldn't have taken anything from my journey, because that is what has formed my story. I enjoy telling stories about my journey, and I couldn't have had those stories if I didn't have to go through the journey. So yeah, that journey you're going through is part of what you're going to get to like enjoy and appreciate about yourself. So hold on to it. It gets better.
It really does get better. This one, for me, is honestly having it all figured out. Like growing up, they made it look like once you become an adult, you're supposed to know your left from your right. You're not supposed to make mistakes, and that's not life. Nobody, I can bet my chest, nobody knows or has it all figured out. So that's something that I really needed to, I have unlearned. Like I don't care at this point. we move. That's just it. The only thing is just that whatever it is that is within my control, because I also had to learn, because being an adult, having to have all things figured out, you will now think that, oh, you're supposed to, even things that you don't have control over, you start,
you feel like you're supposed to know.
Yeah. Exactly. So I had to unlearn things that are not within my control. I shouldn't have to worry about them. I had to unlearn that I don't need to have quarter of it figured out. As long as I'm moving, the more you move, the more clearer.
Take it every day at a time.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's very, very toxic, because it puts you on a pedestal that puts a lot of pressure and anxiety on you. So that was what really, that's something that I had to unlearn. It's so toxic and negative. I don't like it. So whenever I see people and they reach out to me like, oh, Dima, it feels like you have it all figured out, and I'm like, no. Like, if you know my story, you know that I have failed so many times. I have failed literally so many times, and I'm still here, and I learn one or two from my failures, and I continue to move. And that's what has made life interesting as it is. Like, when I look back, as she said, like, I'm not changing anything. I just take on the lessons and I move forward. So that's something that I had to learn.
So what I had to unlearn is that, like, health is the real wealth. You know, money is not the biggest measure of wealth. It's actually health, you know. So once you have health, everybody admires to become a billionaire, a millionaire. Those things are admirable. But what matters is that you're healthy to even spend all the money that you're hustling for.
Yeah.
And then even if you don't have all the money, as far as you're able to, like, afford your basic needs, you know, the most important thing is that you go through the journey of life with utmost happiness, you know, because if you keep waiting for when you get all the millions to suddenly become happy, you would never be happy. So wherever you find yourself in life, as far as you're healthy, that is the biggest currency you need. Just be happy. Make moments from the little things.
I'm laughing because
you know the boat you're in.
I know my boat. Before, I didn't understand receiving, because majority of my life I have always given. And being the first daughter, it comes with a lot of responsibilities where I have to be the one to take care of my younger ones. And right from a very young age, I have always been responsible for other people, a whole lot of people. So receiving was never something that I got used to. So I still struggle with it to some extent. Even now as an adult, is something that I'm learning to accept that people can help you.
Yeah.
And I'm really learning to accept help as well, because sometimes being too independent, because of how I had to grow up, whenever I need help or try to ask for help, I feel like I'm inconveniencing people and that I shouldn't be doing that. But slowly I'm beginning to learn that it's very okay for you to ask and receive help.
I think you've spoken for the people in our group. In our WhatsApp group. I feel like till now, I still really struggle to ask for help.
Yeah.
You know, like, I feel like I'm quite independent. I do better now. Like, now I can maybe, like, if I need something, you know, or maybe like time, especially, like, I'm always feeling like, oh, people have something else they need to do with their time. There's the satisfaction that comes with asking and not receiving.
Exactly.
So, like, you already project that, will this person be able to do this? And you don't bother asking at all.
And then once they now say no,
it will not be a disappointment, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I'm learning how to be okay with receiving no. Like, when I make an attempt to, because it takes a lot of effort to even ask. You know, so and you now ask and you don't like receive, it can be very daunting. So I'm learning how to be okay with, okay, if I call somebody like, oh, like, I need this help, could you help? And the person says, oh, I'm busy. Okay, understandable. No issues. And then I will still be able to ask again tomorrow, because sometimes when you ask the first time and you don't get the help, that's the end of it. You don't ask again. So but I think I'm doing better with asking, because I'm more used to like giving, but at the same time I'm also realizing that I have to make the effort also to receive, give the people the chance to also like help me. So that's what I'm learning now.
Right. So guys, that comes to the end of this one. We are going to have another video as well where we continue with the questions. Let's know also your responses in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.